Good morning, everybody. So you were just ready to share your power? Huh? Ready? But the problem is what you know. If power is shared, suppose you have got a piece of bread and you share it with others. Do you think your power, your sharing will be more? Will you be able to eat that much? No. So power is lost. Power is lost. In the same way, power means the piece of bread I was referring to. If you share from that piece of bread, you cannot eat that much as you were supposed to eat. In the same way, if we share power, can we expect that we will also be able to have that much power before we shared it? Huh? No. Power shared means power lost. Power shared means power lost. Then, is there any value to power sharing or power sharing? Why should we share power then? Huh? Because sharing power leads to loss of power. Then why power sharing? Understood? We need to understand it. In this chapter, we are going to have a look at it. See, what is said about it? Power sharing is a technique to share power at different levels. It is an idea inculcated in democracy so that the power is not concentrated at one hand only and that different forms can keep a check on each other. India is an example of holding together federations where the power is shared between central government and different states, different constituent states. See, previous year we read about in the pages of history, we read about French Revolution, we read about Hitler, we read about socialism, social movement. We understood how things happened whenever power was concentrated into one hand. The end product of this. Clear? Now basically, if we go by the principle of democracy, which ensures equal rights to all, power sharing is the option. The moment power is concentrated in the hands of few, it becomes dictatorial. People start acting whimsically, frantically. Okay? So there, if we wish to have a setup where everybody has power, we must ensure sharing of power. Understood? Through this chapter, we will come to know about power sharing, why it is desirable, and how power is shared amongst different institutions. Clear to you? Let us see. See, what is said? That power sharing is a technique to share power at different levels. This is the first point. Now next, it is an idea inculcated in democracy. Why? So that the power is not concentrated at one hand only, and that different forms can keep a check on each other. Understood? For example, you are the in charge of legs. She is the in charge of hands. Now she has hands, you also have hands. Clear? So what will happen? She cannot move her legs according to her will only. You will keep a check on it. And you cannot move your hands, she will keep a check on it. Okay? Check and balance system of sharing of power. Understood? This is what is done. I hope you have understood this very concept. Clear? Now, what actually happens if there is no power sharing? If power is concentrated in the hands of few? Majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. Have a look at it. After independence in 1948, Sri Lanka adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhalese supremacy over the Tamils. In 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as the only official language. Do you understand the point? This is what happened. Majoritarianism in Sri Lanka means rule of majority in Sri Lanka. After independence in 1948, Sri Lanka did what? It adopted a series of majoritarian measures. Why? To establish Sinhalese supremacy over the Tamils. Understood? And in 1956, an act was passed. Why? To recognize Sinhala as the only official language. Clear? Now, in 1956, it was done. As a result, Sinhala speakers are preferred both for university positions and government jobs. See, control by a linguistic community over others. Understood now? The point is clear? Okay. What are the reasons? Number one, dominance of Sinhalese community. So they decided, since we are majority, we will rule over the minority. 1956 Act made Sinhala as the only official language. See, Act did what? Made Sinhala as the only official language. Preferential policies means preference to these people. Preferential policies favoring Sinhalese in university positions and jobs. The second factor is preferential policies. Policies are designed in such a way that it supports the Sinhalese. Clear? In university positions and jobs. State to protect and foster Buddhism. And above it, a religion is also protected and promoted. What is it? Buddhism. Clear? Now, the question comes in. We have seen a situation where power is not shared. Did you like the situation? No. And it is this very factor that makes us realize the importance of power sharing. Now we will understand it, analyze and understand it. Why is power sharing desirable? See, there are realistic reasons, practical reasons, prudential reasons. It reduces the possibility of conflicts. If there is no power sharing, there is a possibility of conflicts. So if power is shared, then it reduces the possibility of conflicts. Number two, it provides stability to the governments. What it does? It provides stability to the government. Now, from moral side also we have got some such justifications. Number one, power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. If we want to have a democratic country, a democratic setup, power sharing is the only way. Because it is the very spirit of democracy. People have a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. In democracy, we say rule of people. So everybody's consent, everybody's support and opinion must be given importance. And that means power must be shared if you wish to have a democratic setup. Clear? Now, how is power shared in constitutional setups or governmental setups? See, forms of power sharing. Power is shared among different organs of the government. We know in the previous year, we read about working of institutions. In that chapter, we have seen the different institutions that run or administer the country. You must have seen this. Clear? So, can you hear? Okay. So when we talk about power sharing, we understand it that power is shared among different organs of the government. Power is shared among government at different levels. Power is shared among different social groups. Power is also shared among political parties, pressure groups and movements. So amongst whom power is shared? Power is shared among different organs of the government. Power is shared among different government at different levels. Among government at different levels. Power is shared among different social groups. Power is also shared among political parties, pressure groups and movements. You may be asked a question. Discuss the forms of power sharing. You have to mention these 4 points, 4 areas. Clear? Different organs of government, different levels of government, different social groups and political parties, pressure groups and movements. Now, power sharing among organs of the government, as we talked about it. See, in working of institutions in class 9, we must have seen that there are three organizations or organs of the same government: legislature, executive, and judiciary. Legislature, executive, judiciary, parallel. All have same level, they have their respective roles. Clear? So legislature, executive, and judiciary, they do what? As I talked about it a little while ago, check and balance system. Legislature, executive, and judiciary keep a check on each other. This results in balance of power sharing among various institutions. Clear? This results in balance of power sharing among various institutions. Clear? Power is shared in a balanced way. This arrangement is also called a system of check and balance. Clear? Check and balance, as I explained earlier. Is clear, Shamra? Good. Power sharing at different levels of government. Different levels. You understand the levels? Power sharing at different levels of government. Earlier we talked about organs, which was a parallel one. Now levels are like what? You see at the center, central government. At the state, down there it is state government. Even downer, you will find even more. If you go a little more deeper, you will find a local government like municipality or panchayat raj. Okay, this is a vertical setup. Basically, power is shared in two ways: horizontally and vertically. Horizontally, it is legislature, executive, and judiciary, whereas vertically it is central, state, and local government. Local government. I think it's clear? Good. Now, under this arrangement, government and administration gives space to the diverse social groups. Apart from that, different social groups are also given opportunities. In this way, minority communities also get a fair share in power. Understood? Point is clear? The head is actually power sharing among different social groups. I hope it is clear. Now, power sharing among political parties, pressure groups, and movements. See, in democracy, different parties compete to come to power. It is a fact. In case no party gets majority, suppose it should be 4. If it is 3-3, then no gets majority. Clear? In case no party gets majority, then 2 or more parties form an alliance to come to power. Understood? 2 or more parties form an alliance to come to power and form coalition government. Even there also power is shared amongst different political parties to form government. I hope it is clear. See, earlier we saw the case of Sri Lanka. Now we will have a look at Belgium. Because with Sri Lanka we have seen power was not shared. What was the outcome of it, we will come to know later. And how Belgium arranged it, we will see. I hope basics are clear. Belgium. It's raining. Should we stop for a while?